I call it the story of my life. Every single day, every single night, having lived for well going into half a century, and I know that this year I will be celebrating 50 in 2025. That's an amazing, amazing date. It is the story of my life. And today I want to tell you why I would be doing Kilimanjaro for the fourth attempt in October. This is because I have looked at life over the last season that I've lived, and a lot of things do not appear to make sense.
Many times you go out of your way to want to achieve something. It's never quite as easy. You come from all the way from such a distance and you still have somewhere to cover. You might not just know, but you have to keep on walking by building that great faith that what you want to do is possible. There are so many people out here who are all battling out for one thing or the other to do with their lives. If you can hear from my background, there are people who are herdsmen, there are people who are walking, there are those who are just sitting down to relax, there are those who are praying and begging and crying to their God for one reason or the other. What is your life all about? And so today, as I set up to do something about my life, my hope is that this will indeed transform what you are doing about not only your life but other people's lives, because that is what this is all about. So let's go on to do it. Let's be strong enough. Let us stand with each other. Let us transform how the world functions, because we are all human beings and there's something we can change. This is the leadership villa concept. Let's go with it. Let's flow with it.
Yes, and so human beings are supposed to be the most civilized of the creation, and I believe, rightfully so, we are. Yet, our competitive nature, all predetermined by the nature of geopolitics, local, global, regional, international, has seen us come up with principles, policies, mechanisms that indeed do not serve the interests of the common person. Why would people be stinking rich while another is stinking poor? Literally. I don't get it. Yet, everybody can live above $1 a day and not below. So, is politics designed to keep people struggling? Is that the nature of life? Well, I was personally born in a region of low class poverty, as it would be called. And for anybody who is a Kenyan, when you hear the term Eastlands, then you're aware that that is where the masses of poor people live, lived, and will always live. But can that narrative shift? Can it change? Is Eastland honestly representation of poverty? Well, this is the story of my life. So I grew up in Jericho, moved on to Huruma. I've done things in Umoja, stayed on at this place, and today I am off Mombasa Road, still considered the east side of town. But that does define me. Do I have a better future? Am I a subject or a prospect of success? Well, it's not about where you were born, how you were born, or even who gave birth to you. It's the story of your life. You can shift, change the narrative. No matter how spiky life could be, it's not for you to be thrown by the spikes of a plant. your life can change because it is the story of your life. And this is the story of my life. So I decided that regardless of what comes, the exposure, the experiences, the times that I was going to live were going to get more exciting. And I know that while living in a place called Huruma, indeed, there was a time when you had to convert the spikes into stars of a blossoming flower, rising up and towering above the sky, because we all have equal opportunity to make it big in our lives. And this is the story of my life. So I founded the Slum Code Group when it was indeed a hard time for many, but I realized that young people have a potential to walk their journey and become great people. And so the whole idea was empowering communities as we explore opportunities. And that we did. We created a lot, and many people today are walking this earth because Slum Code lived on this earth. If you did, you know yourself. One day, we will probably get together again and continue walking, because walking is the only way to make progress. And so here we are today. Back in 2018, a concept that had been living in my mind took off. And indeed, the march to greatness idea became bigger and larger than life, because we couldn't afford to rest. We had to keep going. What was march to greatness? This was a call to rise to the top of your life. And so the dream was bigger, to be able to mobilize 60 hikers to head to Kilimanjaro, which is the top of Africa. Why the top of Africa? Because as Africans, we had to get to the top of our lives. And I was determined to get to the top of my life. And so the walk continued. And March to Greatness was born. The anthem was created by no one but the young people. And at this point, I dare say, Viva Prince Crew Empire and all who participated to make the March to Greatness happen. Village Girl, Janet, Poeta, I give you all your flowers. Grab your bouquets and run with your lives, because your stories are big and powerful. And so, here we are today. This is the year 2025, almost 10 years later, and the march to greatness continued. What mantra came out of that? We may all not climb mountains, but we each can help someone climb and conquer mountains in their lives. For that is the March to Greatness mantra. Many of us have mountains, pricked and stuck in the haystack, thorns springing left, right, and center. Our lives are a mess. We are living in a political dispensation where people cannot afford medication, people cannot afford education, people cannot afford respiration. Why? Because pollution has done us in. Politicians have fixed us, yet we have a life to lead. The roads may not be as smooth always, but we all can move faster. So how then do we help each other move and advance in life? Doesn't everyone have a dream? Doesn't everyone see a bright future? Can't everyone experience greatness? Voila! Today, and the leadership villa concept is born. Why do I want to do this? And this is what inspires my fourth hiking to the Kilimanjaro. I want to create a haven where young people who hitherto could not experience luxury can be able to find space for mentorship, to be leaders, to be great, virtuous, and magnanimous people to change the world they live in. Yes, we will identify people from all corners of this world, and trust me, the leadership villa concept will happen. Because I realized that everybody is on to themselves. We wake up, we work, we sleep, all for ourselves. Can't we live together? Can't we form a society of do-gooders, people who see the vision bigger than themselves, so that when it is all said and done, you will not just be another history, you will not just be another statistic, but we will know that you live on, and you live on because of the great impact you have left in others. We need to stamp authority of a great, virtuous life that we enabled others to live. And so the leadership villa is a concept of a mansion that accommodates and opens up to the larger world. A family setting, living to mentor, to mobilize, and to ensure that young people grow into who they must be. Many never experience these situations. Many never get close to even have a life. But if they have potential, you will identify them and they would live a life they've never seen before. Only maybe in movies. But why would we do this? Because my desire would to have many leadership villas all across the place. Build yours, frame it, and change a life, because many deserve better. And so, the story of my life continues. Today, here I am, married with children, raising them up to the best that I can. And I believe many other children out there deserve better. And we can come together to make it happen. So what then is the plan? My idea is to mobilize a few powerful and effective human beings, CEOs, entrepreneurs, professionals who are looking forward to join the mission to realize this dream. If you think this is you, then I'm calling that we head to Kilimanjaro together for what is a legacy climb, because legacy is what we each must live. And on October 25th, all the way to the 31st, we will be heading over to the legacy climb as a fourth Kilimanjaro summiting for me. It doesn't matter whether it's your first, your second, your 10th, but this will be a legacy climb, because the goal is to achieve a dream larger than life. And I cannot do it on my own. I need all hands on deck. Follow me, come with me to the legacy hike of the Kilimanjaro, and we can all make an impact as individuals in our potential, in our space, and in our explorative ideologies. This is doable. And that is the story of my life. So when we get to this level, I know and I trust that we can all do it together. So let's build it. Let's realize this vision. Let's go out there and make it happen, so that when we replicate, we will take it all over the world, and people will know that indeed there are some of us who are selfless. Because why would I have it all when somebody else has nothing at all? That is not the story of my life. I want us to be at a position where we can influence and inspire change, for people to lead a life that changes other people. Poverty is not a beautiful thing. Lack is the source of diseases. Failure comes from fear. Many people are hopeless, and a hopeless person can never be happy. We just have an ailing society, we have a sick society, and this does no one any good. I believe we can open larger spaces for many people to pursue life in a dignified way. And so, when we open up a brilliant window, put light into people's lives, it is possible to shift the narrative. The game has just changed. Are you gonna be the player? My call to you is that if this matters to you, let's be part of this walk. For the march to greatness has just gone on steroids. We are gonna make it happen. We need to realize this dream, for our lives are larger than our own. Let's embrace, let's entertain, let's bring on board and live together. We were not just born to die, but we will die having made an impact. I do not doubt. I want a life larger than me, for that is the purpose why I was called. The march to greatness continues because we have a purpose. Let's put light and life and love into people, because we can do it. We will do it. I am doing it. See you at the top of Kilimanjaro. Sign up, join me. Let's do the legacy and make an impact, because life is a story. So, what is your story? Are you feeling fulfilled? Are you feeling empty? At your age, do you think there's nothing that can happen? Well, it's time for our conversation. And I know that on the 24th of September, I will be hosting the 50 at 25 talk show, and we will explore how you can feel powerful despite the odds that have made you go down. Sign up again. Details will always be on this channel. The story of my life is exciting. I'm not about to stop it. I'm not about to look down upon myself. We can all build a legacy. And remember what I said? We may all not climb mountains, but we each can help someone climb and conquer mountains in their lives. For that is the march to greatness mantra of all times. Whom are you helping today? Who is conquering things because you held their hands? Who is doing wonders because they are in your life? That is the story that I want to hear. Let's make it happen. For when we burn fire on people's lives, we bring out nothing but the best of who they are. And this is my prayer. Each time I kneel down and I cry to God, I know that we can make it happen. It's the story of my life. What is your story? How are you building your story? What is your life all about? And tell it, because the story of your life is the story of my life, which becomes the stories of our lives. And when the sun sets, we each make an impact. Let's do it. Let's go for it. For no darkness is too much for the light that we produce as a people. Let's march to greatness and leave a legacy. Will you?